You guys, we're back with part 2 of this daily on why Scarlett is the winningest. Love this ZvP style. We talked largely at the start about why roaches tend to be the reliant thing by looking at a number of timings. And then we sort of talked really briefly about how that shapes the Zerg's mid-game. But here we see this kind of funky mid-game from Scarlett, where she's gotten up a lot of lings to deal with warp gate pressure, and then has flooded a bunch of Hydras out. Obviously, they can shoot directly at the Phoenixes in a way that's much better than what Zerglings and Roaches can do. But you can never just build something for defense. You can't just build something to stay alive. It needs to have a more extended purpose, or otherwise you're not getting enough value out of your units. So let's see what Scarlett does with this Spire hanging out. And I don't know why it looks sick. Like, it's actually like a sort of pale off color. I'm worried about this Spire. Well, what Scarlett does is just busts out all the Hydras to do a nice big ol' attack. And what's great is that very often our Protoss hero will not have range, and will have a small number of Colossus. Remember that comment about the Hydra range, range 6? Same range as a Colossus without the range upgrade. One of the reasons why it is nice for an attack. An argument can be made for either the attack or the speed. Honestly, you just get both. So, Scarlett begins to take a lot of bases, and this is safe because of how frequently Scarlett is moving out and attacking, and being active with all these units. And when the time's right... Oh yeah, it's the Phoenix is there. Yeah, when the time feels right for Scarlett, she just begins to build Mutalisks. And the right time is when you are safe from harm. The Hydras, though, are a really important piece to this sort of pressure, because, I mean, Mutalisks are never going to be in large numbers until much later. This is why you'll see the good old Jadong, huge-ass transition type thing. But these Hydralisks, which, by the way, don't have speed, and that hurts my soul, can apply really, really intimidating pressure for a Protoss player. Keeping these alive is ideal, but primarily this push is helping secure the shit out of this expansion. Yeah. I mean, most of the time, SOS won't even have a probe out on the map to be able to get up there. And then from here, it's kind of a fairly straightforward process. Remember that +1 Zergling attack we got? Well, there it is. Up and at 'em and on in action. Yeah. The Mutalisks are not being used in the en masse style that we would normally see. That we would normally see in like a Jadong style play. I mean, these Mutalisks have been in pretty tiny numbers. It's largely been this Ling Hydra pack that's been the intimidating one. There's the Hydra speed. Again, I think just a little slip up. Nothing too notable there. But at each of these bases, Scarlett is just rushing for more extractors. There's not a ton of drones on the field. In fact, it's hardly enough to keep up with the gas production. I mean, look at this. 1,600 minerals a minute and 900 gas a minute. Soon to be closer to 1,200. But we also see Scarlett do this move a lot, getting the Corruptors out first to go Ling, Hydra, Corruptor, and then use the Corruptors as a stepping stone to get Mutalisks. So Ling Hydra to apply pressure and take bases. Corruptors to help these Hydras against Colossus. All with the goal of eventually going for Mutars. Really nice, really clean. Even though it's getting smacked down here. I mean, with this superior amount of bases, it's only a matter of time before Scarlett just goes power overwhelming mode. So I'm kind of breezing through this because I want to watch other games. Because just showing you one game and being like, I saw it in one game, therefore it's a style. How bad at my job could I be if I did that? Goodness no. I have always ensured flawless execution of every daily. Ding! Just watch Mox said versus Scarlett. What a great game on Derelict Watcher that was. Hey, what a lovely game. Macro hatches abound. Eventual infestation pit. I mean, get that when you can. That's a super freeform timing when it's good to get the infestation pit. I would like to have it thrown down by 16 minutes, but, you know, whatever. You can't have everything you want. Even though it's kind of a tiny investment to throw down this infestation pit, it implies a much greater future investment, because you spend 100, 150 on the infestation pit, and then you spend the 200, 150 on the hive, and then once that's done, you're like, well, I can probably get an upgrade. Yeah, let's get for level 3 flyer attacks, and all of a sudden you're like in the hole 900 gas. And you're shocked and embarrassed. If you can keep the Protoss player down on gases, all you need to go is Mutalisks and Corruptors. Scarlett finishes this off by getting Pathogen Glands and for the big goop up. And yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna close out of that replay. There's no more learning to be done there. I'm just talking to myself at a certain point. Let's see, which is the one that I wanted to do. Actually, I like this game quite a bit. In this game, we're going to just kind of do the blast through. This is the 3rd, 4th place match at the Red Bull BattleGrounds. Scarlett got 3rd. Man, everything cut out. This game is from MC versus Scarlett. It's the 3rd, 4th place match. At Red Bull BattleGrounds. So this is going to be sort of a brief run through of the same kind of concept. Same build order that we're going to see out of Scarlett. Well, actually, I'm not going to use the word build order, because it's not like you have to follow this. It is an order. And if you break it, then, screw you. Nothing like that. It's just a conceptual framework of early speedlings into lots of gas and Hydras. And then into Spire. And we're going to see Scarlett push forward with these Linginess and Hydra-iness to accumulate extra bases. So, in terms of specific build orders, wow, this seems different. Pool first. But no big deal. Remember, these are concepts. These are not set rules that we cannot bend at all. So Scarlett's going to be going for what? Relatively early 3rd. Usual. 3 bases versus Protoss. We also talked about those oh-so-cunning Protoss timings. Generally, Cybernetics core. We want to be worried about some warp gate pressure, if we can see it. But Scarlett knows exactly when this is finishing up. This is a little late. Generally 5:20 is when this should finish, but instead it's at 5:36. So what does Scarlett do? Getting up an extra queenie. Scarlett's also more than comfortable to do this sort of thing as well. Early extra queens. So we might ask ourselves, why are we seeing a normal gas timing, double gas, at 6, instead of at 4:30? Why? The general concept that we're going for is using Lings with speed versus the 4-gate, because we eventually want to go Ling muta, pressuring his 3rd with those Lings, getting up a layer and lots of gas for the Hydralisks, doing a Ling Hydra push, preferably with some sort of +1 upgrade, so we can transition into more bases and Mutalisks later. Seemed like a good list of things. So why would it be late on this map? Well, one of the big reasons is that it's actually pretty easy to defend warp gates on this map, because there's really not a lot of places where he can warp in. I mean, we have one entrance totally covered by a Xel'Naga watchtower, so we really only have to worry about this side, and I mean, if we just scout in this area, we're like fine. So it's not a super need to get the Ling speed ultra fast. The more important thing is we're still seeing, look at that damn early gas. 6:30 for a 3rd gas. What? And I bet you an early 4th gas is also right around the corner. Would I ever lie? So Scarlett begins to get attacked. I'm actually going to go to the Scarlett cam. She can see, oh, Forge. She can see, oh, Stalkers en route. Gets the Zergling speed pretty quickly. Gets the Evolution Chamber pretty quickly. Oh, whoops, sorry, I forgot the second half of the thought. Why would you want to be having the Zergling speed on Frost versus this map? Because Frost is way huger. So we really kind of need the speed to cover the ground and see what's going on. Here we don't need that as much. But Scarlett, you'll see, accounts for that by having gotten an earlier 4th queen. The queen is dead. First queen. There were 4. Actually, I don't know why, I'm just like implying things. I should just show you. Where is that one queen? Scarlett, did she cancel it? Did she cancel it and I didn't notice? No, there was a queen in production. Where was the queen in production? Maybe I'm just miscounting the time. Oh well. Whatever. There's the queen. There she is. Extra queens at the front for defense. Pretty typical stuff. Trying to defend, deflect. What's going to be going on at this evolution chamber? Oh, what do you know? 4 geysers are up already. We saw the same theme as before. When do we get lings? When we want help holding off the attacks. Oh, look, evolution chambers. And oh, a Hydralisk den. Yeah. +1 missile attack. Great. Alright, what are these speedlings used for? To apply pressure to the 3rd. Oh no, the 3rd is already down. How will this change the plan? The way it changes it is Scarlett says, I'm going to expand faster. Generally, in more spread out ways. This is kind of cheeky, this hidden spire, all the way up here. This is not as significant to do. You can if you want to. What's more important is that as the spire goes down, all the other geysers get up and operational. There should be another expansion here or here coming up soon. Speedlings, just trying to manage everything on the map. Great. Stalkers get morphed in. That's a really useful sign. That really implies that we're going to be up against some sort of blink play. If you saw 1 Stalker morph in, maybe not, but the fact that 4 Stalkers were morphed in to kill off a single Overseer, our opponent is either absolutely terrible, or it's MC and he's going blink. Yeah, look at this, just accelerating the pace of the Hatch Snatch. So first and foremost, Ling Hydra is going to be the production choice of Scarlett. Great. Cheeky, schwanky, lovely. Just applying a little bit of pressure, pushing out, shoving back. It's not as significant a push, but it's still a push. This is the same theme that we're going to see out of Scarlett again and again and again. Just to buy time for Scarlett's transition into this Ling Muta edge. Continuing to apply pressure. Look at that. Didn't even panic and pull back into a huge retreat. Just wanted to continue to apply said pressure. And this is going to be a very easy game for Lady Scarlett. And remember this Ling attack upgrade? In the previous game, Scarlett got the Ling attack upgrade really early and then went for the range upgrade. Here the range upgrade took priority because the evolution chamber went down late. No big deal. Still, same thing. This Ling Hydra pack, applying pressure on one end, while the Mutalists apply pressure on the other end. Huge mass expanding, huge mass expanding, huge mass expanding. I don't know. I don't think another game is really necessary of this. Oh, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to show you yet another game. We're going to do it in hyper warp speed action. Lots of lings new to this, saw too much for MC. Counterattacking is awesome. Building lots of spine crawlers at the top of the ramp to kill off everything. Do-wop, dop, do-do-do. It's a base trade that Scarlett wins. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Big thing to note, mass expanding has been going on. It's not going on right now, but it had been, as the mutas and lings were doing all their awesome fancy things. Now, I'm going to close this replay and just pray that it doesn't crash. But I don't know how good prayer is for StarCraft 2. Everything sound good? Alright, okay, it worked. Figured it out. So we saw what we've done in the last game is we kind of saw a stress test of this opening from Scarlett, where she received a little bit of pressure, did a little bit of a different opening. MC took a really fast third. What would happen if MC went for some sort of Stargate play instead? Let us see. Hey, there's a 430 extractor to get Zergling speed up really quickly. Why would you do that? Because on this map, there's a lot of ground that's hard to cover, that 4-gating. Early pressure could be going on at. Some pressure from MC looks very scary, looks very intimidating. Scarlett does her best to hold on, to hold off. And things get a little bit delayed. Ah, look at that. Normally, we saw Scarlett have her 4 geysers up already. But as I'm looking around, I see only 1. Because Scarlett has been under some sick pressure. And continues to be under that. Zergling speed coming up. Queens only being produced to replenish at the start. No roaches. It's no roach o'clock. All of a sudden those speed Zerglings are done. Let's check for the warp gate. And once Scarlett has confidence that there's no warp gate coming on up, she's going to take all these lings and go check the third. Oh, what's going on here? I don't know. Let's lock it out on the front. And soon enough... Oh, sorry, there is an Overlord checking on that third base. That's fine. What else was going on during that period of time that we really want to take a look at? Well, the gas. I brought that up. So let's go ahead and look at what Scarlett does. Deal with the gas. Here's all the pressure coming up. Remember, no funny business with that one geyser. Scarlett just kept drones in it. Hatchery. Up on in. 2. There. Scarlett's basically just going to play the catch-up game. Go for the extractors. Extractor. Where's the other extractor? Oh, it's just 2. What is Scarlett cutting in all of this? It's the evolution chamber. That's the big thing that we're not seeing out of Scarlett. Were Scarlett to get an evolution chamber, there would simply not be enough gas to get that upgrade. Very smart, sexy, clean, slick, sly little adjustment. Yeah. Zerglings that I was talking about earlier are staying fairly active, continuing to poke at thirds. Make sure that no third shall go unexplored. And good. But it's the same thing. We see that as the spire goes down, the remaining geysers join along with it. Up until then, it's just going to be Hydralisks. And Scarlett does another kind of cute thing. If ever there's a fear of not quite having enough anti-air, or of not having enough gas for air, Scarlett begins to just add queens. Queens require... Normally it's Roach Hydra. Roaches to sort of sit at the front lines while Hydralisks shoot from behind. But Queen Hydra allows the queens to use no extra gas. 100% of our gas can be devoted to Hydralisks. It's really, really nice. But yeah, same story. After all that stress testing, what's the one thing that's still missing from here? An evolution chamber. And Scarlett just begins to go expand crazy. Uses these Lings and Hydras to do some loose pushing out into the center of the map. Some loose management, you know, of some stressful things, like perhaps Warp Prism. And she's going to get a clean win here. I don't know if there's that much notable to talk about anymore. Alright, this is what we're going to do, guys. Check it out. This is a quick part 2. When we come back in part 3, we're going to see Scarlett do something rather odd. We're going to see Scarlett see an opportunity to attack where she will go mass Queen Hydra and nearly kill SOS. We'll get to see perhaps the most stress-tested example of the build of all, one where Scarlett falls short, but one that where Scarlett clearly could have won, thereby kind of justifying the whole point of this daily, that it's a damn good style. So when we come back, that's what we're going to look at. Here's the break. We're on a break.